How would you know whether you want it or not when you haven't had experienced it before? Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of Door Talk, the journey to explore personal wisdom. Today I'm gonna get you through the book Brainfluence written by Dooley. This was a title that I came up with once I was scrolling around a bookshop in Dubai and I just found out my COVID test turned out to be positive. So picking up this book seemed pretty much a good way to get along with that situation. The book Brainfluence isn't exploring one issue in great depth. For better or worse, it's a treasury of 100 neuroscientific pearls to improve marketing and teasing out the details on how our brains work. Well, let's first begin with this fact. 95% of our thoughts, emotions, and learning occur without our conscious awareness. There was a study in which subjects were given a puzzle and they actually solved it as much as 8 seconds before they were consciously aware of having solved it. The researchers determined this by monitoring brain activity with an EEG that our brains seem to reach a decision before we are consciously aware of it. Anyhow, most vast majority of ad industry try to consider that 95% of their customers' brain. And due to this fact, here are the most actionable and specific takeaways from this book. Pricing in the best way possible. There are various studies and strategies on how to price intellectual. But after all, you need to know what is your market exactly about. Like there are multiple studies showing that selling like a sushi chef or taximeters, which is selling products in a way that a consumer sees the price increase with every bit of consumption, causes the most pain in their brain. So we better put on a price on a whole package or service. Paper overweighs digital. Viewing information on paper causes more emotional processing in the brain, and another reason behind it is the weight. There was a research in which one group of people were given heavy clipboards and other the light ones, and the result was that the group given the heavy clipboard found it more serious to observe. Baby pictures. If you want to get viewers' attention, show them a baby picture. Of course, you don't have to channel that attention into your product or your brand message, which might be difficult if babies are totally irrelevant. But that does really work. How does a chocolate treat you to buy a product? In fact, tempting an individual and getting him or her to indulge will actually increase the person's desire to keep indulging. Even more surprising, the desire to indulge goes far beyond having another piece of chocolate and extends to high-priced consumer items such as fancy products or anything. Mirrors everywhere. Here is a prediction. In the coming years, we'll see mirrors popping up in the entryways of churches and other places of worship. And the reason won't be to let those interning fix their hair. The mirror has a rather magical effect on us. The benefits of using mirrors or other self-images will most likely be greatest for marketers who are clearly on the side of what is socially desirable, such as charities, universities, green marketers, and so on. Now let's get a flashback of previous episode. Oxytocin studies and other research make it clear that touch is an important tool in building trust. And this touch can be a good handshaking or a light touch on a person's shoulder, which make that person more willing to choose a riskier option or speaking into the person's right ear to get them to do something. From time to time, all of us need to persuade people we don't know to do things. And after all, the only thing worse than being asked for a favor is being asked for multiple favors, right? The expected and seemingly logical answer that asking for more than one favor is unwise is wrong. Behavioral research shows us that sometimes asking for one favor first can greatly increase the probability of success with the second favor, especially when it's easy and possible. This takeaway reminds me of a story which I've read before on IG that was about a mother and daughter conversation in which the daughter is wondering why they keep borrowing salt from the family next door while they don't even need it. And mom tells her that the family next door is poor and might need help multiple times, so she's just gonna make her comfortable to borrow whatever she wants whenever she wants it. Cold or hot coffee? An experiment gave subjects cups of either iced or hot coffee and then told them to rate someone else's personality from a file of information about that person. Which group do you think scored the person higher for warmth? The hot coffee group, of course. The researchers attribute this effect to the fact that brain imaging studies show hot and cold stimuli light up the area of the brain related to trust and cooperation. Give big, get bigger. The concept of reciprocity suggests that giving someone something or doing a favor for someone establishes a subtle return obligation. Even a minor change in a gift may have a significant impact on a response rate, and the only way to determine the most cost-effective strategy is to test. The old maxim says it's better to give than to receive. The reciprocity effect might change this to it's best to give and then receive. Selling secrets of magicians. If you think that magicians and neuroscientists have little to talk about, you'd be wrong. Both deal with issues like attention and consciousness. Here are some key methods to bring up. Magic strategy 1. Don't let or make your customers multitask when you need their attention on your message. Magic strategy 2. Whether you are presenting to a group, selling one-on-one, or designing a TV commercial, use motion to grab the attention of your audience and focus it where you want it. If there's one thing that's moving, that's where the audience will look. Magic strategy 3. If you're dealing with an audience who is distracted or who may be losing focus, use big motions to snap them to attention. Magic strategy 4. To get your customers' attention, surprise them with an unexpected move, a novel sound, or an unfamiliar image. That will cause them to look at and analyze what they are seeing. That's true even with text new, as one of the most attention-getting words in advertising. Well, this was some of the takeaways from the book Brainfluence, but I hope you get the chance to read the book itself because it's full of new strategies. It was a journey I dived in to wrap up the whole quarantine days with the purse of it. And whoever is listening to this podcast, I wish you the power of shifting any challenge in life to a great opportunity. Thanks for listening.